Hey everybody, it's Billy P, the bilateral amputee. Hope everybody's having a great day, great morning. I know I am. I'm sitting out here on the patio and enjoying a little bit of this nice weather. It's going to get hot and humid today, I believe. So we got to enjoy this little bit of coolness while it's here. But anyway, as everyone knows on here, I'm a bilateral amputee. I lost both arms above the elbow January 23rd, 2007. At around 8:17 in the morning, something like that. It's pretty wild. I know all that stuff, but kind of sticks with you, I guess. But as a welder fabricator, I worked with my hands all my life. Actually, kind of lost my purpose there for a little while after I lost my arms, as you can imagine. Didn't know what I was going to do for a living, and didn't know how I was going to support my son and I. And all that kind of changed one day when my brother called me up and he asked me, he said, Billy, my brother David, he said, Billy, you care if I can get you to come out here to my work? He works for Public Works, and get you to come out here and talk to my guys. And I'm like, David, what do you want me to say to him? I don't know what, whether being unsafe and, all this safety training you had and everything and what you've been through. And I think you can really help them out. They're being a little unsafe at work, and I want them to get a reality check. I said, sure, I'll come out there and do what I can. I was a nervous wreck. I hadn't talked in front of anybody since third grade. And in third grade, I remember the reciting an Abraham Lincoln speech. 7 years ago, our father brought forth on this nation. I had to get up in front of class in third grade and do that, and I was scared to death, and I swore I would never do any kind of public speaking again, and I never did. Until I lost my arm. So that day my brother called me and asked me to come and speak to his guys. And like I said, I was scared, nervous, didn't know what I was doing. And I showed up and went in there, did a little spiel, about 10 minutes. Didn't really, think I did anything. On the way out, I was there 10 minutes, like I said, 10 minutes on the way out. I was caught by a gentleman named Doug. Great guy. He'd been in the safety field, safety business for around 40 years. He retired that year. I think it was 2016, something like that. And he caught me on the way out, and he said, Billy, he said, you could really help a lot of people out when it comes to being safe at work. If you go home and you perfect your story a little bit and get it out there. Learn how to talk in front of people and get it out there. So, I thought about it for about a week or so, and that's what I did. I practiced. I put a little PowerPoint together. I practiced. A buddy of mine that works out at the chemical plant out here in Rubbertown in Louisville, Kentucky. I put on Facebook that I was wanting to see if anybody had anybody I can come and talk to. And one of my friends, like I said, works at the chemical plant. He called me or got a hold of me and said, man, you can come out here the whole month of February back in 2016 and talk to my guys and tell your story, get used to talking to people, in front of people. I said, cool, man. I did all that pro bono for a whole month, and just getting used to talking in front of people. And I seen how my story was helping. A lot of positive vibes were coming from this. A lot of positive energy. I could feel it. I can tell it was making a difference. And so that's kind of what I decided to do for a living from that day on. And I did it for a little over 3 years. Absolutely loved doing it. I still love doing it. I miss doing it. I miss meeting all the people that I was meeting and making new friends and getting out there in public and telling my story. And I can't do that right now very easy, on the stage anyway, in front of people. So I figured I'd get on here and do a little recording. And all this coronavirus has had everybody out of work. Not everybody, but a lot of people out of work, and you're returning back to work. And I'm just here to remind you that I hope you didn't forget all that safety training you had before this coronavirus hit. You need to remember all that training you had when you got at work. You know what I mean? Or wherever you got your safety training, you need to remember it. I hope you didn't let it go to your wayside. I hope you kept it right there in your pocket. So keep that in mind. You have to think about your safety when you're going back to work. And it's got to be on your mind. So it's very easy to become complacent, and after you've been out of work for a little while, you can forget things. So hopefully you haven't forgot. Hopefully you stayed on top of it. This is my way of reminding you to stay on top of it. Don't forget about your safety training. And in my travels around the U.S. and doing all these safety presentations, I can't wait to do it again. I miss it so much. because I know it helps a lot of people, man. You know, that's what it just makes my heart full that that story helped a lot of people in the safety world and in a lot of other different ways too. And so it's pretty awesome to be able to do that kind of stuff. And like I say, I miss it, you know. But my way right now is just making this little video just to remind you about your safety training you had. You know, like I said, in all my I've been a lot of places in the U.S. and telling my story, and always look out for things, what other companies are doing that other companies aren't doing, you know, safety-wise. Maybe I can help other companies as I go. I can take one thing from one company and say, hey, man, can you implement this? And this is what this company's doing. Can you implement this in your company? Maybe help, you know, and I'm just trying to help out. I just don't want, you know, I'm very lucky to be here. Very fortunate to be here. I survived something that a lot of people don't survive. Sorry, I get a little nauseous when I think about this, but I'm very fortunate, very lucky to be here, and I'm a positive guy, and I've got to get these positive vibes out. I got to get this story out. But anyway, I just want to, you know, like I said, I got to get off track a little bit, you know, it's just the way it is, but my endeavors of traveling to the U.S., I look for things that other companies are doing, maybe some other companies aren't doing. And one of the things I found this past January, I was out in Calvert City, Kentucky, I went out there and did 10 presentations for a chemical plant out there. And one of the things they'd had there for a while is it's called a stop work authorization card. They give all their employees. If they leave, you don't have to have it to stop work, but I think it's pretty cool. I want to read it to you. Their card, what their card says. I think it's pretty cool, and it can help out a long way. A lot of companies should do this because it's actually empowering the employees to think about their safety more, you know, to be safer. Let me put my shades on here. But I'm gonna read this to you a little bit. It says their vision is empowering employees safely, working together such that hazards never hurt you and me. Pretty awesome vision. Now, this is a stop authorization work card. Authorization to stop work card, and it reads like this. This is for every employee, whoever works at this company, which I think is awesome, man. But it goes like this. You have the authority, without fear or reprimand or retaliation, to immediately stop any job or process that presents an immediate danger to you, your co-workers, or the public. This is not only your right, but it is our expectation. I think it's pretty cool. All employees has ownership of safety and has the responsibility to ensure every job is done safely. That's it. I think that will go a long way, that card right there, man. I think every company in the world should implement that in their place of business. It's pretty awesome. A lot of companies don't give their employees that power to stop work, you know. And a lot of people say, well, it can be taken advantage of. It can be taken advantage of. And the people that take advantage of that, they're the ones that need to be reprimanded for it. You know what I mean? And not reprimanded for stopping a job because it's unsafe. You know, and so I think it's pretty cool to have that authorizations to stop work card. I think it's very important to have. It's a good thing to have. I think every company in the world should have it, really, you know, because it's going to go a long way. It would definitely save limbs, and it would definitely save lives because it has at this place, which is pretty cool. Excuse me a second, let me get a drink here real quick. Little job for in the morning. Ain't as hot as it used to be. Alrighty. If you heard me swallow, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, you know, I like to say in closing, I hope this reminds you to stay on top of your safety. All that safety training, let all that training come back to you. Get it in your mind because you're returning to work. Got to think about that stuff. You know, and if you ever feel like you're being put in danger, in harm's way, you have the right to say no. Keep that in mind. And that card is a great way to let all your employees know that, hey, you know, you have the right to stop work to stay safe. So keep that in mind. If you ever feel like you're being put in harm's way, just say no, you know. And you have to be your brother's keeper. You really do. You have to look out for each other. You know, I would have gave anything if somebody was there at work and pecked me on the shoulder and said, when they see me walking over that machine with that screwdriver getting ready to stick it in, I wish they'd peck me on the shoulder and said, Billy, we don't need to be doing it like that. It's very unsafe. Let's do it the safe way. But there wasn't, you know. So keep that in mind. You have to be your brother's keeper. If you see something, say something. You know, at that moment, you don't want to go get a boss or anything like that. By the time you go get a boss or a foreman or somebody like that come back to take care of that situation, that person can already lost a limb or sitting, laying there dying or dead. You know, that's how fast these things happen. I got caught in this machine so fast. I just, so fast, it just tripped me out how fast it happened. Within seconds, milliseconds, it seems like. I didn't even know I was in the machine. That's how fast it was. My hands, excuse me, I didn't realize it was in the machine until it was working on my forearms. It was already, my hands were already gone. It was chewing on my forearms. But anyway, like I said, I'm very lucky to be here. I'm very lucky to be here to share this with you. And so keep that in mind. Say no if you feel like you're being put in harm's way. Be your brother's keeper, you know. And no matter what, lock out, tag out that machine. No matter how big that job is. It may take you 10 minutes to lock and tag out a machine. And take you a minute or two to do what you got to do. I'm going to tell you right now, it's well worth it. It's well worth to take that time to do a job safely than it is just to jump in there and do it. And I'm telling you, every time you do something like that unsafe, you're taking a chance with your life. It's that simple. You're taking a chance with your life. And another thing, don't ever assume that if you go help a coworker out, don't ever assume that that coworker is doing that job in a safe way. You know what I mean? Look at it before you help them out. Make sure they're doing it or about to do it in a safe way. Make sure you're going to do it in a safe way. It's very important, man. You know, watch each other's back. Lock it out, tag it out, no matter what. Shut that machine down. De-energize that thing. Put a lock and a tag on that. And you're going to be better off. I can guarantee you that. All I want you to go home the same way you went to work. With all your limbs, with your life. Because I'm telling you, man, incidents like this don't just affect the individual, it affects everybody around you. It does me, it still does to this day, it affects people around me every day. So keep that in mind. You know, I know at sometimes or another we all feel like we're invincible and nothing can happen to us. I used to feel like that. Not true. We're very fragile, you know. And you just have to be safe. These machines will grab a hold of you and they won't let go, man. They won't let go. I almost got pulled all the way in the machine, so when I was standing here, sitting here and telling you I'm very lucky to be here, very lucky to have got I had to pull myself out of that machine. There were some guys standing around, but nobody lifted a finger to do anything, and I just chalked that up to the lack of a safety program and shock, you know, so it's a good thing I kept my sense about me and I was able to get out of this machine. I guess the scary part after getting out, I reckon, you know, was I need to get the blood stopped, and thankfully I was able to get somebody's attention. They came over to me and they laid me down, and that gentleman named Tom stepped on my left stump, and he had a co-worker named Joe stepped on my right stump, slowed that blood down enough till the MTs got there. Very fortunate to be here, and I'm thankful every day. You know, thankful for everything that I've gone through and how much stronger this has made me too. And I've grown up a lot since this. And you know, I had so much help through the years and still get a lot of help. And I'm just glad I can give back somehow. And this is kind of my way of giving back, just to remind y'all to keep your butt safe at work, man. You know, it's very easy to become complacent. So don't let it happen. Keep your mind on your safety training, because it's going to go a long way. You know, your kids, your family, they all need you. They need every part of you. So keep that in mind. You know, guys, that's pretty much it for me. Stay you, stay positive, stay healthy, and be safe out there in all your endeavors. Be safe. Keep your eyes and ears open. I'll talk to you later.